What's up? Welcome back. I apologize in advance for my voice. I am a little under the weather, but I wanted to get this video out there and done. So I started this journey, if you were following along on YouTube, and you find me, The Real Drew Farnese, under playlist. You can check out this flip journey. All right.
Hey guys, what's up?
There's me. Excuse me. Again, sorry in advance. So basically I started this entire thing because we had a property that we were intending to wholesale. Buyer backed out literally the morning of settlement, so we had to scramble and we closed on it. I swore that I wasn't going to flip any houses this year and I was just going to focus on the wholesale side and some of our technology platforms. But I had to scramble, so we ended up buying this deal, and I thought it was the perfect deal to do kind of a case study on to kind of show people that deals still do exist in this market, in this economy, and they're not always super complicated, they're not always super risky, and yeah, I kind of went through some of the stuff from start to finish here. So I showed some of the stuff related to acquisitions, walkthrough and planning when we first got it. Oh my goodness, again, I'm so sorry. Some of the things that we do to save time, kind of planning out the scope of work, some issues along the way, and yeah, just even some of the renovation stuff. So,
all right,
ironic enough, my 12-year-old daughter did most of this renovation, and here's
guys,
some of
what's
the
up?
before and afters. So overall, the reason that I wanted to do this was a couple things. I didn't want to flip it anyway, but I flipped a lot of houses in the past, and like I said, it was a relatively easy renovation. Honestly, the lightest, easiest renovation that I've ever done. And I wanted to show that a lot of the objections that I get from people that say that they want to start flipping or want to start buying rentals and doing renovation projects is I don't have the time, right? And for this property, it made it the perfect case study because I didn't have the time to do it either. Honestly, right? Like, I am not in fix and flip renovation mode right now. I did have a construction company in the past, years ago. But on top of not being in the construction side at all right now, on top of that, this property is about an hour and 45 minutes away. So I had no advantages other than some basic knowledge. I had no advantage over your average Joe. So I thought this would be the perfect case study to do this on. So here we are. I'm going to kind of recap a bunch of the things here that I probably touched in other videos. But let's look here real quick. All right, so all in all, we purchased this property for $115,000. Okay. Now, it's a little bit more complicated because I did end up wholesaling it from my acquisitions company to another company that I own. So if we look at that here, got a spreadsheet, which, by the way, if you want a copy of this spreadsheet, just comment below if you want it, and someone on my team will shoot it over to you. So we did technically purchase this property for $115,000, and then I wholesaled it from Revamp, my acquisitions company, to my construction company, right? So essentially my construction company bought this deal for $180,000, which is what our original buyer was in place to purchase for, that pulled out the morning of settlement. So I literally ran these numbers based on how our end buyer would have been looking at this deal as well. I don't want people to be like, oh, well, that deal only made sense because you are an expert at acquisitions and you bought it really cheap. I literally ran these numbers and actually did the transaction this way. We literally paid an assignment fee to revamp on the HUD, and this is how the numbers shook out, right? So we ended up spending $17,000. Here's some of our closing costs. We paid a lot of points. We had more than 100% financing on this. And this was what we projected, right? We projected that we would hold for 3 months. In the grand scheme of things, we ended up holding for 4 months. We thought we'd sell for $280. I think we sold right at $280. We knew what we would be paying in commissions. So we projected that we were going to net around $50,000. Okay? So, well, actually, we didn't have this projected. I think this was, we had like $15,000 in here. So I went over budget. That's me. That's what I do. But that's by far the lowest amount that I've ever spent on a rehab project in my life. So that is cool. And really what that consisted of, I'm not going to go through all of the photos here. You can check out some of the other videos if you're curious as to what we did. But really it came down to pressure wash exterior, new paint and carpet throughout. Kitchen, we didn't even paint the cabinets. We just cleaned everything up. Same appliances. Bathrooms, we kind of just freshened everything up. We did like new faucets and fixtures and drains and everything. Doesn't cost a whole lot of money. And yeah, we ended up listing and selling this for $279.9. Okay, so looking at all them figures. No, actually, I never even filled this tab out here for rehab estimate. It's a template from another project because it was such a light rehab. But if we look at cash to close here, I'm not going to go through line item by line item, but to highlight, here is that assignment fee that we paid to revamp 365. So all that considered, after selling for $280,000, our flip profit was $52,000. If you actually add in our assignment and flip profit, you know, north of $100,000. And yeah, this was a really easy renovation project. I think with my 12-year-old daughter working on it, I think I made 10 or 11 trips down there. Most of them were probably half days. They definitely were not 8, 10, 12, 16-hour days like I used to do a lot of. And yeah, I would encourage anybody to just kind of go through some of the other videos in this channel if it's something that you're interested in. My hope is that this inspires somebody that maybe you have done projects before or maybe you haven't. Shows you that even if you don't have a whole lot of time, there's projects out there that can make sense for you. They can be profitable. They still exist today. There still are buyers out there as well on the flip side when you turn around to resell a property. That was one issue that we had on this though. We were under contract and scheduled to close a month prior, and 7 days prior to settlement, it was a VA buyer that we had in place. Same price that we had it sold it at right now, but 7, 8 days prior to settlement, his mortgage company pulled out on him. Apparently, he had lied on some financial docs. Can't do that. So we were back to square one. put it back to active on the MLS, found a new buyer a couple days, maybe a week later, another 30, 45 days to close. And yeah, start to finish was about 4 months on this. We had 17 grand into it for the flip side of the transaction. Made north of 50,000 bucks for 10 or 11 days worth of work. It's not that hard. Easy enough that my 12-year-old pretty much did this herself. So that's that. If you have any questions on this overall, just let me know, or drop a message in the comments below. Love to help, and subscribe to the channel. Catch you on the next one. Peace.